Okay, I am back home, so I will show you how I would approach this, and then if I'm able to email you a copy of how I got it, I will. I've never actually emailed an embroidery file out, but I will try to. So I'm starting from the very beginning. I know that you said that he didn't want the outline with the bug, and then he also wanted to change the color of the shield and pest management to both be gray. So I have it to where I've not changed any colors yet. So if we do this, so over here, it shows that he has the shield and the bug as one color. So we need to kind of trick the embroidery software to thinking that this is not one single color. And actually, we're not tricking it. We're actually just telling it like, hey, we don't want these to be the same color. So we need to put a break between when it stitches the shield and then when it goes to stitch the bug. So that's what we'll work on first. So what we'll do is go up to this stitch simulator. So this little needle here. And like I said in the video this morning, we will slide this over until we get to the yellow color that is the border of the shield and of the bug. So we want the shield to be separate from the bug. So I will get to the end of the shield, and then right before it starts stitching the bug, I'm going to use these arrows to back stitch. Now I'm back on the shield. So I'm going to push stop, and that tells the system or the design that a new thread color is going to be placed here. So hit stop. And you can select any color here as long as it's different. And then once we have all the breaks where we want the breaks to be, we'll go in and set everything to the correct color. But just for this, we're gonna put it at something random. And I'm gonna make it very different of any other color just so that you can see what's happening. So say that we make it, gosh, I don't know. Let's make it this like a blue color. And then hit OK. And so now we've told it that we want this to be one color, and then starting at the bug, we want it to be that blue color we chose. So now if we look over here, these two used to be combined, and now it has broken the bug out by itself. And then I think that's going to take care of all of the adjustments that you wanted. So now if we start recoloring everything here, we're going to color that shield gray. So we're going to find just like a random gray. And then the pest management, he wanted gray. It looks like it's already gray, but I'm going to set it as the same exact gray that we used on the shield so that when we go to the machine, it can stitch it all at one time. The bug was going to be gold, I think. So find a goldish color. I'm very lazy when it comes to picking these colors. I will just pick anything that when I get over to the machine, I will just have a slight idea of what color it's supposed to be. Okay, and then he doesn't want the outline to show, so if we make the outline the same color as the main body, then it will look like it's not even there. So I think that that's going to be this guy. Okay, but it does look like he's got the stars attached with the outline. So we need to go back to our stitch simulator and make a break between the stars and the outline. So once we start to see those come across, we know that we're at the right color. So I'm up here sliding, and it's going to be this very last section. So there it starts to stitch the outline, and right before it hits the stars, right before it starts to stitch the stars, I will hit stop. Still going. Okay, so now I'm going to back stitch with these. So every time I click it, it takes a stitch away. So I'm going to go to the first stitch of the star and then backtrack it so that I'm actually on the last stitch of that outline. I'm going to hit stop, select any random color. I'm going to select this red color. Okay, now if we look over here, it has the outline as one color and the stars as a separate color. So now I can change these independently of one another. So we go back to the outline of the bug, we're gonna make it the same gold color as the bug itself. So we're gonna go to our color palette, find that gold color, and now when it stitches, it'll just blend right in. We want our stars that we just isolated to be white. So we'll change the color there, go up to threads, find some random whitish color. Maybe, just looking for a very light color of some sort. We're gonna call this our white. And now that we've called that our white, we want the green to be the same shade of white so that when we go to the embroidery machine, it identifies it all as the same color. So I'm gonna click on my green. I'm gonna change that to our same white color that we just set for the stars, which is actually this one. We need to change the pink to blue, or purple is what it's calling it, to blue. I'm gonna pick any blue because it doesn't matter. And then I believe in the original file that you sent over, independent was black. So we're gonna go to independent, change the color, find a black. Well, we're gonna call this black. So I believe that those were the changes that you were looking for. So we took the white border off of the bug, made this gray, made pest management gray. He could even, or you could potentially even take this outline of the bug and delete it off completely. So I've got it selected. If I delete it, he could do it that way as well. I think the digitizer put it on just kind of to make it look a little more finished. So there it is with it off. If I undo it and put it back on, there it is with it on. So it looks very similar. And then what I always do is, rather than using the color sequence that he attaches in his emails, I always go to File, Print Preview. And this is also where I will print this page out for sizing so that I can use it as a template when I go to size things on the garment itself. So I print off page 1 and then I look at page 2 for my color sequences on my machine. So we've got our light gray. This is actually our black for independent. This is my white, my red, my blue, my gray for the shield. So you can actually see like whatever is darkest here, that's the color, that's the section that color is being applied to. This is going to be the gold for the bug, and then this is going to be the white for the stars. So I don't even use the PDF sheet that he attaches. I do it straight from the software itself and use this as my guide for what colors I'm going to select on my machine. So you can see it's got like color 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. So I don't know if that helps explain anything or if I've just like complicated it more, but I will try to see if I can send this file to you. But otherwise, that's how I would approach it. That way you're not always going back to the digitizer to have him revise things when you can do it yourself, because it really, once you get the hang of it, it's really, really simple, and it allows you a lot of freedom to do things and make adjustments and edits for your customers. So let me know if you have any questions.